Well, ladies and gentlemen, the internet is back at it again, hating on the homie Dwayne Douglas, The Rock Johnson, man. We're gonna find out why that's the case, but listen, man. Whoever made this is diabolical. I miss my needle. You don't have to like the video, you don't have to subscribe. Shout out to the homie Moon. Let's find out. Roll it.
When Dwayne
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play,
yo, he used to be that big and that hard. Damn, pause. And now he's looking like everybody else. I mean, that's good physique though, you know, no disrespect, that is good and healthy, absolutely. But I mean, I know, but I still can't prove it. Damn it, man, I cannot prove it. You guys know it as well, but you cannot prove it. Let's be objective here, man. Damn it, bro.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna
Hollywood.
Yeah, this is like prime example, right? The Rock in his physical prime versus in his 50s claiming to be natural. I know, but I can't prove it. I can't. I guess I can't prove it. I don't care who you are. There is no Johnson on planet Earth that can stay that big, that hard for that long. Pause real quick. Listen, man, as somebody that has been going to the gym consistently for the last 3 months, bruh, there's no Johnson that can stay that hard and big. The pause again. But honestly, okay, jokes aside, this is respectable. You know, this is a respectable shape. Here, I mean, you can have that physique that would definitely require hard work, sweating, but also ticking as well, as the kids would say, no bap, right? Yeah, if he came out clean, I guess there wouldn't be that much hate. You feel what I'm saying?
The Hollywood's most beloved star wasn't quite what he seemed. His absolute perfect image is starting to crack. Small inconsistencies, moments where the mask slipped, behavior that didn't match the humble, hardworking image he'd worked so hard to create. The thing that made him the richest actor in Hollywood. Which is why the story of Johnson's downfall isn't really about one scandal or controversy. It's about authenticity, crumbling under the weight of fame and the inevitable collapse of a man who forgot he was human and not just merchandise.
Now let's be real, right? Like, everybody make mistakes, right? Like, everybody's gonna have haters, not everybody's gonna like you, and that's fine, you know what I'm saying? I personally love The Rock in WWE, bro. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Amazing character, good storylines. Yeah, the recent one, yeah, was kind of iffy, where things got out of hands when, you know, he tried to, or I guess WWE tried to replace Cody Rhodes. Where you feel what I'm saying? Like, if you follow WWE, I don't follow that much, but you know, I watch a little bit back with my friends around that time. But yeah, there's that. And also I enjoyed the Rock movies as well, bro. Like, I feel like not everybody did, or maybe a lot of people did. I personally did. Not every movie was amazing, but not every movie was bad either. I feel like a lot of like smaller things that became a bigger issue.
However, even the most successful in Hollywood are never truly free. We could first see this back on Instagram in 2016, when Dwayne Johnson was filming the final week of The Fate of the Furious when he decided to blow up his reputation with a single social media post. Fans expecting the usual wholesomeness, maybe some touching words about Paul Walker, perhaps a behind the scenes photo with the crew, instead found something else entirely. It was a call-out post which was public and scathing of his unnamed colleagues. Johnson was going after his male co-stars, calling them unprofessional candy asses from what to see. The target later emerged
If you smell what The Rock is cooking,
was Vin Diesel, the franchise's lead and producer. While fans didn't outright turn against him, it definitely raised some eyebrows. It might have just been a slip-up, a moment of misguided frustration. After all, Johnson was just as human as everyone else. He was allowed to make a mistake. However, it would soon prove to be the catalyst behind the exposure of his ego, damaging an image he started building in the early 2000s. You see, Johnson as The Rock transcended the bad guy image.
yeah, like, this body was, he has a good, yeah, this body was achievable. And it's good, it's decent, but I guess afterwards the standards really got high, you know?
Many professional wrestlers, going on to become the most famous, most liked member of the sport, and then achieving legitimate movie stardom only to become the most famous actor in Hollywood. And he seemed to do all of this without ever losing his authenticity. Where other wrestler turned actors felt like novelty acts, he felt a little more genuine.
That was the great Holly! Yo! That was the great Holly! Maybe not so great right now, but that was a Holly, the great Holly.
Where other wrestler turned actors felt like novelty acts,
Damn. I wonder like how much like tick say allegedly he was taking, right? Oh, was he also taking tics? I mean, yeah, if you're gonna take the tics, just let everybody know, right? Because there are a lot of young people that get influenced by it, and when they hit the gym, you know, for 3 months like me, and then don't build like crazy gains, of course they're gonna have trust issues, right? You feel what I'm saying? Like, because that's how it is, right? A lot of the teens and young adults, they look up to all of these influencers and all these bodybuilders. Some of them are genuine, for sure, make no mistake. A lot of them do put in the hard work, make no mistake. But let's be objective here. Those Instagram influencers, like the Hollywood influencers or movie stars, most of the time they are on enhancements, you know, enhancements drugs, and taking the tics and all that, right? So, yeah, I mean, be influenced by the hard work, but also but know it deep down that they are probably taking a lot of these enhancements. Meanwhile, you're not taking it and you're still like looking good and you're doing good, right? You're obviously not gonna have a leg up on these fellas out there that are getting those enhancements drugs, because you're not taking it, right? If you are taking it, then that's different. But if you're not taking them, well, it's gonna take you a little longer, man, and you're probably not gonna look that big. Let's be real.
Felt a little more genuine, kind of like an anti-celebrity celebrity. Funny and down-to-earth, self-depreciating Instagram posts, surprise visits to fans, and lots of charity work. When scandal after scandal destroyed other stars' reputations, which is practically a Hollywood ritual at this point, Johnson always remained pretty untouchable. A 6'5" teddy bear who happened to be the hardest working man in the industry. For over a decade, his persona worked flawlessly. Johnson wasn't just starring in blockbuster movies, he was reviving entire franchises and making hundreds of millions for doing so. The Fast and Furious series was running on fumes until he joined in Fast 5. The Jumanji reboot succeeded because audiences trusted him to respect their childhood memories while updating them for a new generation. He was always the safe choice. He'd never say anything bad in public. He was always a picture perfect guy, with the cleanest views on anything. Saying whatever he was supposed to say.
Yeah, when everything becomes like so clean, then people start to find the cracks, or you start to reveal the cracks, and then people find them, and then that becomes the insecurity, and that becomes the reason to hate. It's, you know, one of those famous sayings, if you stand for nothing, then you're gonna fall for anything. It's that kind of thing. For sure, like, he doesn't have to go ahead and give opinions on everything. I mean, if he wants to, that's cool. If he doesn't want to, that's cool again, right? But let's be real, let's be objective here. We're in a timeline where everything is easily cancelable. We don't even want to hear other people. As soon as we hear something that don't chime in well with us, we're like, cancel, right? So this is why the standards have become that, hey, if you're a celebrity, if you're a big name, hey, don't even say anything too offensive, because that might bite you in the ass later on. And I don't like that, right? Let people openly talk. Of course, like, if you're calling for violence, then that's different. But let people like just speak their mind to, at least, okay, not to a full degree if you can, but to a certain degree, right? Like, damn, bro, what we doing out here?
He was someone that star producers could bet their careers on, but somewhere along the way, his humble act started feeling like exactly that, an act. It hit particularly hard with Johnson because it's something he tried to fight so hard against, which is what makes his story a pretty unique one among Hollywood's elite movie stars. You see, that Instagram post we mentioned about his Fast and Furious co-stars later turned out to be part of a wider issue with Johnson's conduct off camera, and his authenticity would become much harder for anyone to defend. In 2019, reports emerged about Johnson's new no-lose clause, a contractual guarantee that his characters would never appear weak on screen.
And John Cena, I know this because, like, John Cena did the complete opposite. He's more like, okay, I'll play the character and I'll stay true to the character and source material, versus The Rock was like, I cannot lose the fight. And I remember when that thing came out, people started, that became another reason to hate on the homie.
Jason Statham and some other well-known action stars had similar protections, but you're contrasting someone who's always been typecast as a hard man with someone who championed humbleness and humility. And people did start noticing how Johnson would take not wanting to lose and literally anything to another level. Check out this viral clip where he gets awkward about losing a game of rock, paper, scissors.
We do rock, paper, scissors?
Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors. I won!
Well, no, yeah, see, it's supposed to be rock, paper, scissors, go.
Oh, what?
This is cheat. What kind of
No, sorry, I think
Yo, what did he say though? Okay, what was that B word for it? I don't think he said the female dog word there or anything like that, because that don't fit. But what if he said that? Damn, Dwayne, really? Douglas, really? Come on, man. Yo, no kizzy, bro. No kizzy, as the kids would say. I recently learned that word, bro. Bruh. It's crazy. It is crazy. I recently came across no bap. I mean, I knew about no bap. No bap just means no cap, which means no lie. Yeah, man. Like, I swear to God, bro. But yeah, no bap. But there's another one, no kizzy, which also means no lie or no kidding, right? That's unless it's something else. Unless it means something else, let me know in the comments.
When you look at Johnson's recent filmography through this lens, and it really makes sense. In Jungle Cruise, his character dies but is immediately resurrected. In Black Adam, death becomes a minor inconvenience. In other films, Johnson's character emerges triumphant while his co-
Yeah, man, all that became what tick, 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 tick. All that came from the ticking, my man.
Stars fall around him. Hollywood embraced his characters. They knew they could sell it as a product. And you can see how he started to embrace this himself, using himself as a marketing tool when it benefited him or those close to him. And it was a burger that would later prove this. In 2023, Johnson posted a video of himself trying In-N-Out for the first time.
Okay.
Having lived in California for most of his life, he acted like...
And then he embraced the joke, right? Or, yeah, because people started calling him out on it.
This was just suddenly the first time he'd have an In-N-Out burger, one of the most famous and iconic chains in the entire state. It was meant to be a wholesome moment, and it was probably done by a strategist team to do a subtle promotion with In-N-Out, but it wasn't hard to see this was just a botched marketing ploy, as this definitely wouldn't have been the first time he tried In-N-Out. Even just living in California aside, and the chances that he'd randomly have this burger, we can at least prove that he'd had it 3 times, as fans were able to pull up posts from 2017 where Johnson had claimed the exact same thing, even calling himself In-N-Out's newest and biggest fan. Johnson later amended the post saying, "Thanks to the fans who reminded me that I went to In-N-Out years ago and totally forgot about it."
Man, you know, like, come on, man. The internet went Detective Dokes on his ass, quite literally. And maybe he did forget, right? But why would you, like, do that? I mean, yeah, it's an In-N-Out burger. Yeah, you can have that sometimes. It's fine. Unless, like, he really had that, which is, I doubt it, right? But he did forget. He did forget, but the internet never forgets, man. That's the thing, bro. I feel like people went quite harsh. People were quite harsh on this one. This wasn't, like, so deep, though. You know what I'm saying? On the ticking part, allegedly, that one I can understand. But this one, yeah, it was quite petty, though.
Reddit then exploded with one viral post titled "Dwayne The Rock Johnson lies about eating at In-N-Out for the first time." This guy was so fake during the podcast, and now this, I'm convinced that everything he says is a
yeah, it's like smaller things that became a bigger issue afterwards. But let's be objective, on its own, it's not like he's, you know, I cannot say that word on YouTube. Yeah, there we go, right? Censorship. But yeah, it's not anything too extreme. It's just like him, I guess, capping about eating In-N-Out burgers, all right?
bunch of BS. The top comment says a lot.
I get it. Like, it was a marketing ploy.
Dude, he's basically a walking billboard. He's the type of entertainer that is selling a persona, not himself. There should be no surprise. Sure, it's a very small, very trivial lie, but also so unnecessary. And around that time, people were also questioning how someone in their 50s could maintain this sort of physique, especially after Joe Rogan openly speculated about steroid use. This was around the time other celebrities like the Liver King were under the spotlight for lying about.
Yo, confession, I lied. Oh my god, bro. So that became a thing. Damn, man. Real quick, I almost forgot, I gotta shout out Any, if I'm butchering your name, my apologies. But thank you guys so much for being members on the channel, for becoming members. Man, thank you all for all the love on the channel. Let's go back to the content here, boo. Roll it.
The charitable side of Johnson's brand would then also be questioned once he and Oprah put an appeal out for donations after wildfires wreaked havoc in Hawaii in 2023.
Oh crap, I forgot about that one. Right, yeah, that was probably a big one, I think.
They called it the People's Fund of Maui, but it didn't hit the notes they wanted it to. It wasn't all Johnson's fault, it was largely just a case of bad timing. Against the backdrop of the pandemic and the cost of living crisis, there was a lot of financial strain on a lot of people. So when they heard two celebrities with hundreds of millions, or in Oprah's case billions to their name, asking for donations and parting with a combined $10 million like it was nothing, many
two billionaires standing next to each other asking for donations is effing wild. It is. And I read a comment, this was insane, where it was like celebrities starting fundraisers is like having an entire chocolate factory, a whole chocolate factory, but asking you for your only chocolate bar. And that is honestly quite true.
Were ready to attack them, especially those in Hawaii who were already suffocating in the most expensive state in America without any real income. Many people demanded to know why they didn't request money from those who could actually spare it, like other celebrities. While Johnson later admitted he could have done this better, it became another thing chiseling away at his authentic image.
Launched the fund, there was some backlash that came with launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand, and I could have been better.
The distrust turned into animosity, and it was growing every time he made an appearances that each looked more scripted than the last.
No, I'm not sure, did he actually donate by himself? I probably would have, right? But it just became something, yeah, right? It was just poor timing, and also, like, let's be real, billionaires asking other people to donate. I mean, y'all boys and girls are billionaires, bro. Just drop in like 10 million. 10 million would be like what? Like $100 out of 1,000, maybe not even 1,000. Let's be real. $10 out of 1,000, right? You're just sparing $10 out of $1,000 that you're spending.
When Johnson did finally appear on the Joe Rogan Experience, it felt like flat.
That was like the early days when he was getting a lot of hate, right? Yeah, and then he became the people champ. And yeah, no, the WWE did his character right, and he also put in a lot of hard work to. Yeah, that's why I loved him in the WWE, and I got no hate, honestly, bro. You feel what I'm saying? It's just I would say like the donations part was a big kicker. The In-N-Out Burger one was petty, but okay, whatever, right? There was that, and also like the ticking, right, and all that. That was a big one. Other than that, I mean, listen, bro, like he ain't that bad in otherwise, right? But you know, when your foundation is built on lies, then yeah, like once people start seeing that, people would have a different opinion. And also, Rock image has been squeaky clean in the interviews and all that, and let's be real, nobody is squeaky clean. So that is, I'd say honestly though, there are a lot of people that have also lied about taking enhancement drugs. They got hate, but that was it, and that's fine. People still like them and whatever, right? The Rock is different because he tries to appear perfect, but nobody is perfect. He's also not perfect. But because of the standards and the image that he tries to maintain, that is what backfired a lot. While staying super clean, people started finding dirt on him. You know, that's sad, but that's what happened.
Honestly, kind of sad when you think about it.
Well, squeaky clean image wasn't the only one. It was a lot of ego as well, my bad. Bruh. Yeah, there was a lot of ego, right? That's why John Cena started getting a lot more love, and I love John Cena as well, you know what I'm saying? And regardless of everything, I think he was amazing in WWE. He produced like solid movies as well. Let's be objective here. Some not so much, some amazing, others not so much, right? Whatever. But John Cena also started getting a lot more love out of the blue when they heard that, yeah, The Rock got ego issues, right? He's an egomaniac. Meanwhile, John Cena would be like, hey, if I have to die in a movie or a series because the character is supposedly gonna, or the character's gotta be vulnerable, I'm there, you know, I'll show the vulnerability. Meanwhile, The Rock is like, no, man, no vulnerability. I cannot lose a fight. This, that, the other. I guess letting your character die in a movie, that's a big one. Yeah, like John Cena character is not gonna die because he's big, right? He's probably gonna be a lead. Lead does not die, generally speaking. So, okay, that was two out there. That was two out there. But your character can never lose a fight. Come on now, right?
As the main antagonist to Zachary Levi Shazam in the 2019 movie, care about Black Adam versus Superman, not paying any mind to Black Adam's main enemy. Really, it became clear this wasn't about artistic vision. Johnson was trying to retake over the studio and restructure DC to center around his character. That plan then backfired because Black Adam didn't perform as well as it needed to, despite his claims to the contrary. There was tension behind closed doors too, with Johnson apparently wanting to promote his tequila brand at the premiere despite others feeling it was inappropriate as the
walking billboard, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a whole lot of that. But did you see this video? I mean, yeah, they're going pretty hard on my crush as well, Emma Watson. Bro, the internet's crazy. Check out this video on the screen, and I'll see you right there.